Hey there, YouTube, and Happy New Year. My name is Chasing Dopamine, and I like to play games, talk about games, and just do things with games. If you want to make sure that you're supporting this tiny channel, I suggest that you like and subscribe so that way I always know you're here. And to not make you wait anymore, let's start this fantastic new year off with some Fallout New Vegas.
I'm done being nice. If you don't hand Ringo over soon, I'm going to get my friends and we're burning this town to the ground.
Sometimes I just want to burn it down.
Got it?
We'll keep that in mind. Now, if you're not gonna buy something, get out.
What do you want?
What was that you said about Ringo?
He's some traitor who decided he'd rather shoot than pay the toll for being in our territory. He's hiding somewhere in town. Would serve these idiots right if me and my guys shot the place up after we got payback on Ringo.
This is your territory?
It is now. Me and the rest of the guys busted out of the NCR prison east of here and took over. Now we're calling the shots.
What were you in prison for?
None of your damn business. You ought to know better than to ask a man that kind of question.
Whoa, I just need to know if I need to watch my step around you.
Robbed some people, burned some things, killed a few guys.
What's going on in the rest of the wasteland?
Same old shit that's been going on for years. The NCR and Legion are still fighting over Hoover Dam for some reason.
Do you know anything about Hoover Dam?
Do you know the Muffin Man?
Never been there since the NCR's got troops all over it. Must be pretty important.
What do you know about the Legion?
I've run with some tough gangs, but I gotta admit, they all got nothing on the Legion. I hear they stick you up on poles and it takes a while to die. I ain't saying I'm afraid of them or nothing, but I'll be staying out of their way.
You sound just a tad bit afraid, my guy. I'm not even gonna lie. You definitely are sounding afraid. But you can put on your tough guy front and tell me about the NCR.
New California Republic. Nothing new about it. Just a bunch of people with money and power pushing everyone else around. They've got troops all over the Mojave, but it's a big desert, so it's pretty easy to avoid them if you want.
See ya.
Yeah.
Well, you've been causing quite a stir. Glad I finally got to meet you. Welcome to the Prospector Saloon.
I overheard an argument. What was all of that about?
Looks like our little town got itself dragged into the middle of something we don't want anything to do with. About a week ago, this traitor, Ringo, comes into town. Survivor of an attack, he says. Bad men after him. Needs a place to hide. We figured he was just in shock, so we gave him a place to lie low. We didn't actually expect anyone to come after him.
What do you plan on doing about that?
Some of the others, like Sonny, will probably stand up for Ringo if he asks for help, which he hasn't. Personally, I hope he sneaks out of town one night and takes the powder gangers with him.
Where is Ringo?
He's holed up at the abandoned gas station up the hill.
Why not just kill Cobb and be done with it?
You mean murder him? That's not our way, even if Cobb is scum. He can bluster and threaten all he wants.
What happens if I help Ringo?
If you were able to get Ringo out of this mess, you'd have a decent reputation around Good Springs. I'd even set you up with a discount. Of course, helping Ringo would also make the powder gangers mad, and they've got a lot of friends out there.
And if I help the powder gangers?
Don't know why you'd want to do a thing like that. Yep, you'd get on their good side, but people around here wouldn't appreciate it one bit.
So, who was that you were arguing with?
He's a convict, just without the chains. Said his name was Cobb. Powder gangers is what they call themselves. Plenty more like him out there.
I'm trying to track down the people who attacked me. Do you know anything about
Not
them?
much, other than they're a bunch of freeloaders who expected a few rounds on the house. I was able to get them to pay up, though. Of course, one of the great cons did knock my radio to the floor, by accident, and it hasn't been working since.
Did my attackers say where they were going?
They were having some kind of argument about it, but the guy in the checkered coat kept shushing them. Sounded like they came in from the north through Quarry Junction. If that's the case, I can't say I blame them for not wanting to go back. That whole area is overrun with the kind of critters that just get mad if you shoot them. Merchants avoid that whole stretch of I-15 like it's radioactive, which it could be for all I know.
But where were they headed?
I didn't hear exactly, but the leader was talking about the strip. Fellow wants to get there and avoid the 15, he'd have to go east. Take Highway 93 up.
Do you want me to take a look at your broken radio?
Sure, the outside looks okay, but I think something broke on the inside. There'd be caps in it for you. I do like to hear what's going on in the world. And that Mr. New Vegas seems like such a gentleman.
Do you know the robot who rescued me?
I know that thing as much as anyone else around here. It mostly keeps to itself, which is just fine by me.
You don't like him?
It acts friendly enough, but I don't trust that whole cheerful cowboy act. I find it all very creepy.
So, what all does he do around here other than, digging people out of holes?
Other than rolling around once in a while, it doesn't do anything useful as far as I can tell. I don't know why it took an interest in you, but I'd be careful. It's never helped anyone before.
How long has he been in Good Springs?
It was here when I took over the saloon 7 years ago. Some people have said its owner lived here, but no one knows who it was.
Does Good Springs get any visitors?
Mostly traders looking to buy bighorn or meat and hides. The traders are the main reason the general store manages to stay in business. Most travelers heading south on the I-15 just push on towards Prim, unless they're in desperate need of supplies.
Anything interesting going on in the rest of the wasteland?
There's always something interesting going on, but the biggest news has to be the come and dust up between the NCR and the Legion over the dam.
Tell me about the NCR.
The new California Republic's got the most power in Nevada. Money, troops, you name it. They do what they can to keep things safe in the region, but if you ask me, they're trying to do too much. They're spread too thin.
Why do you think both of the NCR and the Legion want the dam?
I'm pretty sure the NCR wants to hold on to the dam because it's one of the few places around that can make electricity. The Legion are a bunch of savages, though. No idea why they'd want the dam. Probably plan on destroying it or something.
What can you tell me about the Legion?
Slavers, killers, and all other kinds of trouble. They dress up like Roman soldiers, so there's no mistaking it when you see them. The rumor is that the Legion is far larger than the NCR lets on, and that it's been due to luck that the Legion hasn't overrun the territory.
Hi there. Sticking around Good Springs for a while longer?
I need to get to Prim. Could you suggest a route?
Sure can. Take the road southeast out of town till it hits the freeway. Prim is the town with the roller coaster straight south. Can't miss it. NCR patrols do a good job of keeping the highway clear, but I'd keep your gun where you can reach it easily. You never know who you'll run into. Off the road, you'll probably start running into hostile wildlife. My advice would be to stick to the highway when you can.
What do you do around here?
I hunt geckos mostly. The meat's pretty good and I can always find a buyer for the hides. I also help keep the town clear of rad scorpions and coyotes. Not many people live in Good Springs, so wildlife is always creeping in. Sure, what do you want to know? Southeast of here is Prim, can't miss it. Since it has the giant old roller coaster right in the middle of town. The NCR's got an outpost there. If you follow the road north, you'll eventually hit Sloan and Quarry Junction. They mine rocks or something, but I heard they got troubles lately. I wouldn't head that direction if I were you, though. Got critters up there that don't take kindly to getting shot.
NCR?
The new California Republic. Bunch of settlers and soldiers coming in from the west, fixing on making Nevada their own. They can be right pushy, but the roads are safer because of them, so I tend to let it go. Not that I got a choice.
What does the NCR keep you safe from?
Well, the wildlife for one thing, rowdy locals for another. They're protecting their own. Just happens to help us. They've been holding off this other group from the east, too.
Do you know about the other group?
Got a funny name. Call themselves Caesar's Legion. Never seen them in these parts, so I couldn't tell you much. I hear rumors, that's about it. Supposedly they keep slaves and they got some real nasty ways of killing folks. But maybe that's just something folks in the NCR cooked up to make themselves seem more useful here. Less uninvited.
What kind of creatures are out there?
Around here, mostly coyotes and geckos. The coyotes are pretty dangerous in large packs, but otherwise they're nothing to really worry about. The geckos aren't too tough, but they've got a nasty bite. I've heard about bigger, nastier versions out in the wasteland, but I've never seen them. Stick to the roads when you can, and steer clear of the hills north of Good Springs. The critters up there are big and poisonous.
We'll talk later, Sonny.
Until next time.
And from here I did what I do best, and I had to loot the saloon. If you can't get into the floor safe on the floor, there's a terminal right next to it that's really easy to get into. So you can always do it that way to get the stuff inside and to get the magazines that are back here. And then after that, of course, let's go fix her radio so we can still get paid. And then we ended up leveling up, so I put everything in barter, lockpick, and speech, and then we took on the intense training perk so that way I could add 1 to my intelligence. And from the saloon, we just kind of jog up and go talk to Ringo just so we can get that out of the way real quick.
That's close enough. Who are you, and what do you want with me?
I'm not an enemy, if that's what you're asking.
Sorry about the gun. You just caught me off guard, that's all. We got off to a bad start. What say we start over with a friendly game of Caravan? You know how to play?
What are the rules?
It's a two-player game, and the winner takes the whole pot. You build a caravan using the cards in your deck. The goal is to create caravan bids that beat your opponent's bids, so there's more strategy than luck involved. It's why you won't see caravan in any casino. Too slow-paced, and more importantly, no house edge. Here, take this holotape. It goes into more specifics about the rules. You'll also need a deck, so take one of my spares. So, you feel like playing a game?
Really, I just wanted your deck of cards, so no, I do not have time for a game right now.
Oh.
Did you know that there's a man named Joe Cobb looking
Yeah.
for you?
He doesn't look very tough, though. I hear he's afraid I'll shoot him down from one of the windows when I see him. And he's right. I'll have a much bigger problem once his friends show up. There's no way I could handle all of them in a gunfight.
What are you going to do about the powder gangers?
I'm gonna lay low for as long as I can, assuming the town doesn't throw me to the wolves. I've got no chance against the gang on my own.
You need a hired gun? I'm available.
All I've got left on me are a handful of caps, but you get me out of this and I'll make sure the Crimson Caravan pays you back. You've got my word.
It'll have to do. What now?
We just end up sharing the same grave if it's just the two of us. Now, if some of the other people in town were also on board...
I'll ask around.
Start with Sunny Smiles. She's been friendlier than most around here.
And then we just take everything that is in here because we're allowed to. However, be very careful because if you go behind here and then you end up accidentally taking those boxes of 9mm ammo right there, Joe Cobb will get very mad at you because those are indeed his ammo. But I did hide behind the register just so he couldn't see me, and I did still take his ammo. And this was where I decided that instead of going on with the quest that I was currently on, I really wanted to pop over to the Powder Gang encampment, the NCR Correctional Facility, so that way, without already having, like, severely peeved off the Powder Gangers, we can just get over here without a hitch. Like, if you notice, even when we get to behind this building right here, there's 2 Powder Gangers, and they absolutely do not care about our presence whatsoever. So it really helps, and yet we'll actually be able to get into the correctional facility without having to deal with, again, a bunch of peeved off Powder Gangers. So it helps us be able to do these Powder Ganger quests real quickly. Sorry guys, my tongue is losing it today. But yeah, I just kind of wandered over here and finally ended up in here, so let's get these quests done.
Hey there, girlie. You here to party with the Powder Gangers?
What is this place?
This is, or was, the Big House. New California Republic Correctional Facility. Not much correcting went on here, just slave labor. One day, us prisoners decided to liberate ourselves. Killed the warden, killed the guards, took over the whole damn territory.
Who's in charge of the prison now?
That'll be Eddie. You can usually find him sitting in the warden's old chair up in the main building.
Well, can I go in?
Well, I don't know. Depends on if you can make it worth my time. 100 caps sounds right to me.
Bro, you are lucky that I have nothing better to do and don't feel like busting your kneecaps. Here's the caps.
Alright, you can go on in. Can't guarantee your safety, though.
What exactly did you do to end up here?
Me? I ran with the toughest gang in the Hub. You've heard of the Hub, right? It's, west of here, I think. Back in California.
Gotta love the Fallout 1 and 2 reference. If you're free, why are you sticking around?
We've got the biggest, baddest fort in the wasteland. There's water and power, and if we need grub, we just go out and steal it.
Alright, yeah, I'm over you.
Yeah, whatever. Didn't know anyone would willingly walk into this place. Not unless they were looking for trouble. What's your story?
What did you do before you got incarcerated?
I was a sheriff, believe it or not, for a small town far to the west of here. Short version is that sometimes justice is a little slow, and I helped speed it up one too many times. I'm not sorry for anything I did, but I will do the time. Fair enough trade if you ask me.
Tell me more about what happened in the prison.
I understand that Cook was behind it all. I kept my head down the whole time. Didn't want any part of it. I stuck around, figuring the NCR would show up and put things back the way they were. No sense in making myself look guilty, right?
Who's Cook?
Some kind of anti-NCR rebel. Some people just don't like being pushed around and told what to do.
Where can I find him?
He went north with some of the other guys. Didn't say where. Didn't say why. All I know is he's got some kind of score to settle with the NCR.
Why are you still here?
I'm not quite sure the kind of greeting NCR troopers will give an escaped con like myself. Figure it's better to stay put for now.
Who's in charge of the powder ganger?
Right now, Eddie and his boys run the place. They've got the guns and the dynamite, so they call the shots.
Well, okay, I'll be seeing ya. And, of course, we're gonna start looting what we can right now. I can't fit everything in my pockets, but I'm going to try while we're here, and while I can get anything I can while out of sight.
Heard there was a new face around. I'm the doctor around here. Sort of.
Why are you sort of a doctor?
I was an NCR medic for 6 months, so I'm not exactly a doctor. Still, it's more medical training than any of the other guys here. It also gives me an excuse to stay out of any raiding parties. The gang can't lose its only doctor now, can it?
What did you do to end up in here?
Medical supplies go for a decent amount of caps in the right markets. I figured the quartermaster wouldn't notice any missing. I was wrong.
What did you do before?
Let's see. I've been a farmhand, a bouncer, a bandit, and an NCR trooper. I don't recommend any of them.
What's your reason for staying?
The location by the highway makes it a good spot to shake down any travelers passing through. That's why Eddie and the rest are still around. Me, I like having big walls between myself and the wasteland.
How did you all manage to escape?
One night, there was a big explosion from the other cell block. I had no idea what was going on, so I took cover in my bunk. When it was all over, the guards were dead and we were free. Most of the other prisoners scattered, but a few of us stuck around, obviously.
And then I finished looting before I decide to make my way up to Eddie so I can finally get on with the show.
What are you looking at?
Not too damn much, but why are you called Scrambler?
Why? It's because I mess up people so bad they don't know what part goes where when I'm done.
Huh, I just thought you really liked eggs. What did you do to end up in here?
Not much. Just killed a bunch of people. Maybe a couple kids, too. Whatever.
Well then! How did you all break out?
Dynamite. Lots and lots of dynamite. You should have seen the body parts flying everywhere.
What do you do around here?
I keep an eye on my buddy Eddie. Anybody messes with him and I scramble them real good.
I would say it's been a pleasure, but sir, it really has not. Goodbye!
Dawes said he let somebody in. So you going to give me a reason not to kill you and throw your body back outside?
How did you end up in this place?
Why do you care? Answer, you shouldn't. I don't feel like trading life stories.
How did the breakout happen?
It was all Cook's idea. He and his boys managed to swipe some dynamite and hide it away in their cells. The rest of us just tagged along. Cook's crew headed north while the rest of us stuck around for payback.
What could you tell me about the prison?
The NCR called it a work-release prison. We lucky prisoners got the privilege of fixing up the rail lines and blasting rock for new lines. They got sloppy, though. Some of us managed to hide away some dynamite, and look who's in charge now.
What do you know about Cook?
One mean son of a bitch. Really truly hates the NCR for some reason. And he got a lot of the other guys around to his way of thinking.
Where is he now?
He and his crew went north. I heard talk about some sort of big plan to get back at the NCR, but haven't seen them since.
What do you need done?
This is Powder Ganger territory, my territory. Most of the guys around here understand that. One, Chavez doesn't. Chavez formed his own crew and have been hitting traitors on their own. Everybody I've sent after him either got killed or weren't able to catch him. That leaves you. What do you say?
I'll do it.
Good. Chavez and his boys were last seen south of here. If you're lucky and he's careless, he might still be there. Yeah, get out of here.
So for a second, I was trying to see if they would all go to sleep so that way I could get into the safe behind him, but apparently, no, you cannot do that. So I just went to find Chavez.
Hello there. It's good to see a friendly face. I almost took you for a raider, I did. Name's Malcolm. Malcolm Holmes. Don't suppose you'd care to trade. I'm missing a few essentials and... screw this. Lying just ain't in my nature. I'll tell it to you straight. I've been following you for a good bit now.
It's giving stalker vibes, my dude, not gonna lie, but why?
It started off innocently enough. I was traveling, as I often do, and happened to observe you picking up one of those blue star caps. You didn't show any reaction to it, so I figured you didn't know what you'd gotten your hands on.
What is so special about these caps?
There's an old wasteland legend that says somewhere out there is a fabulous treasure from before the war. Those caps with the blue star on them, the tale goes, are the key to that treasure. They're called sunset sarsaparilla stars. All over the place. The easiest place to find them is unopened bottles of sunset sarsaparilla. You'd think they'd all have been picked clean by now, but somehow, new bottles keep appearing in the machines. Some say it's old Festus that does it, hoping someone will finally collect enough caps to earn the treasure. Other than bottles, you'll just have to scavenge. You can find caps in the unlikeliest of places, and blue star caps are no exception.
You mentioned someone named Festus. Who's that?
It's said that the treasure is guarded by a man named Festus, and he's the one who asked for the blue star caps. It's also said he's been around since the war, standing a lonely vigil, waiting for someone to come and take the treasure off his hands. That'll make him pretty damn old, but I've met a few people in my travels who claim they actually met him, and they weren't the lying type either.
So you collect these caps too?
Nah, I gave it up years ago. Too dangerous. And even if I did still collect them, I'd tell you the same. There's people out there so mad with the idea of treasure that they'll attack strangers just on the suspicion that they have some of those caps.
I mean, what kind of treasure are we talking?
No one knows. Money, weapons, water. It is, or maybe was, something of value, and that's enough to get people motivated.
Thanks for the info, but I'll be going now.
No problem. If you do end up trying to collect more stars, watch out for a man named Alan Marks. He's killed several people for their stars already.
Nah, bro. You should be watching out for me! Ha 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 ha!
That's not a good
idea. Poof. Wait. What? What is going on? Did you guys also see that? What? A, he shouldn't have even spawned in here for one, and B, he just I couldn't even take his caps, man. What the hell? Okay, and now we really get on the hunt for Chavez now that we're done with disappearing people.
Damn, running low on smokes again.
You just walked into the wrong camp, my friend. Hand over everything you've got and we might let you live.
Eddie sent me to deal with you, homie.
That's nothing new. Am I supposed to be impressed?
Eddie's just gonna keep chasing you. Quit while you're ahead and alive.
All right. Pickings were getting slim around here anyway.
And then, of course, I have to take all of their things that I can physically carry, considering I am pretty overweight right now. It is not much. But then we make our way back to Eddie to keep doing the rest of his quests.
What?
Chavez has been dealt with. You won't be seeing him around
I'm
anymore.
happy you cleared that up for me. But we've got another situation to worry about. There's a merchant hanging around near the prison. Something feels funny about him, and I want you to deal with him. Shake him down if he's legit, but if not, take him out.
What exactly is funny about that merchant you want me to check out?
Most people already know we run this territory and are usually in a hurry to get out. Not this guy. It's like he wants us to come get him.
I mean, okie dokie, you're the boss. And now I get to flitter off to go deal with a quote-unquote merchant. I have a funny feeling this is no merchant.
Better be careful around these parts. I hear there's powder gangers around and dangerous for merchants like me.
Traveling kinda light for a merchant, aren't you? No pack Brahmin?
Well, you see, Fuck. I'm really a bounty hunter trying to catch some powder gangers. But they probably saw through me just like you did. I've been hanging around hoping to ambush some of them, but haven't had any success.
You know, this is powder ganger territory, and there's a toll. Pay up.
Huh? Didn't know there were women powder gangers. Oh well, the NCR will still give me a nice bounty for your corpse.
Even if you did manage to kill me, the powder gangers are already onto you. It's why I'm here.
That's a good point. Sorry I, tried to ambush you there. No hard feelings, I hope.
You are lucky that I am feeling really nice today, sir. Otherwise, I would just take off your head anyway.
What?
I got rid of them.
Good. Had 'em figured for NCR. One of the Rangers, maybe. Anyway, speaking of the NCR, I need you to take a walk down to Prim. The NCR hasn't raised hell over our breakout, and I want to find out why. They're up to something, I could feel it.
What am I looking for in Prim?
I know the NCR has troops near Prim, so talk to the locals and find out if any of those troops are going to be coming our way.
And then, of course, we just run from here to Prim as fast as humanly possible, or, not humanly possible with the power of speed ramping. Alrighty, guys, if you could like and subscribe and maybe leave a comment, that would help this channel tremendously. But this is where I'm going to end the video for today. We'll see you next time. Bye.